Do you want to motivate someone in your life? Maybe it's your children to clean their room or to do better in school. Maybe it's your husband, your wife, your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, a coworker, your employees. Maybe you lead people at work, at school, or at a company, and you want to be a great leader and you want to motivate them. Or maybe you want to motivate yourself. For years, when I speak to my audiences and coach my clients, I would say, very first thing to do to motivate anyone, including yourself, is to create a compelling vision. Now, I still believe in the creating the compelling vision because it's so exciting. Maybe you want to go on vacation, you want to write that book, you want to get a new job, you want to move, and you could see yourself there. Like you're literally on the beach, you're wearing something you love, you look and feel amazing, the sun feels warm on your skin, you got a nice tan, you just had a beautiful meal, you have the whole day to relax, right? That's a compelling vision. That's an exciting vision. But sometimes, does this happen to you like it happens to me? And most of us, to be honest, can you not see that vision? You can't see the future. You can't see yourself at that great job, driving that awesome car, wearing those amazing clothes and looking and feeling incredible, being in a beautiful relationship. So I used to say, number one, if you want to get motivated, is create that compelling vision. But now I've backed up a step. And the first thing that I have observed that I have to do, my children have to do, and my partner has to do, and my clients and my audience members, is address anxiety and stress. Now, I know it could sound like a downer, but hear me out. Aren't there times when you could see for miles in the future? You could see yourself somewhere. You could see yourself with someone. You could see yourself at that great job or doing something that you love that you've always wanted to do or be somewhere that you want to be. And sometimes you can't. Well, when you can't, there's nothing wrong with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. You might be in anxiety. You might be in the fight or flight mode. Now, I've talked about this before. Check out my other podcasts. Look at my social media. But I'm going to share it with you now about anxiety. When you and I are stressed and specifically anxious, because anxiety happens in the brain, stress is like someone being late to work, there's traffic, or someone cuts you off on the highway, or someone's being rude at the supermarket. Those are external stressors. You can't control those things. You can only control how you react to them. But anxiety is internal. It could be irrational. It could be like looking literally over your shoulder, like what's the next shoe that's going to drop? There's some sense of foreboding, some ominous feeling. And it's not real most of the time. It's just in our head. That's why it could hijack our brain. So the number one thing to motivate anyone, including yourself, is address your anxiety. The way to do it, the fastest way I found, and you've heard me say this before if you follow me, is the vagus nerve exercise. VAGUS. I'm going to put a link to it wherever I post this. It's a 60-second exercise. It couldn't be simpler. You could do it anywhere. I do this with my 3 children. I do this with myself. I do this when I speak. Hundreds of people in the audience, and I all have them do the vagus nerve exercise. You put your hands in the small of your neck, you clasp your fingers, and then you just turn your eyes to one side for 30 to 60 seconds, and then you do the same thing on the other side. It couldn't be easier, and what it does is it resets your brain, the vagus nerve that connects your mind to your gut, which is your second brain. You know that, right? That's why it's so important to take care of the gut. We'll talk about that in a few minutes too. But what it does is it resets that parasympathetic nervous system where you can calm down. Your breath comes back to normal. Your blood pressure comes down. Your eyes are not dilated. Your pupils aren't dilated. Your body's not releasing cortisol or adrenaline anymore. And you're like relaxed. You're back into like being in a cool place. Well, the last 4 or 5 years, things have been nuts. You and I can't get back to that set point. Either can our kids and our partners and our coworkers and our employees, the people that we lead or that we work with. So, and I'll also share this. You want to change the world, right? You probably want to do things like me where I just want to make a difference, I want to matter. I want to connect to my purpose. So I think of Gandhi. Gandhi says you want to change the world, or he said you want to change the world, you start with yourself. Same thing with influence or motivating your kids or your partner or anyone in your life. is to start with yourself. Be that change that you want to see in the world. Gandhi also said that too. And I just think that makes a lot of sense. So let's start with ourselves. So, number one, control anxiety. You may or may not even know that you're in fight or flight mode because you're incredible. You're an overachiever. You just, no matter what, you wake up in the morning, you take care of your children, or you get to work, you do what you have to do, but maybe you're struggling through it. Maybe by the end of the day, you're just exhausted and you're like, what is it all for? I don't feel any better. I don't feel fulfilled. Maybe you're a teacher helping children, but you don't feel good about it because you don't feel like you're present. You're not doing your best job. And then you come home to serve your own children and you don't have the patience for them. You don't have the wherewithal. And so maybe you feel some guilt around that. Or maybe you're going to work and you hate the job that you're doing, or you don't feel like you're doing a good enough job. A lot of that, again, there's nothing wrong with you if you're experiencing any of that. I just want you to know that today, right now. You might be in the grips of anxiety. You may or may not be aware of it. So, and one of the ways, a couple of the ways that I know if I'm in anxiety is I'm going to overeat. I'm going to look for food. I might overdrink. I might go on Amazon and start ordering stuff. I might start scrolling my social media. I might be looking for ways to numb myself, right? That's what it is. Smoking, drinking, gambling, cheating, you name it. It's a way for us to numb ourselves because we might not be feeling good about what we're doing, or how we feel, I should say. We're numbing ourselves because we don't feel good. And one of the reasons why we might not feel good is because we're anxiety. And again, that hijacks your brain. You're not your best self. You're letting those negative thoughts, and you're not even letting them. The negative thoughts take over because your brain is shut down, right? That logical thinking part of the brain that says, I do have something important to say. I can accomplish that. I can get that new job. I can get on vacation. I could buy that car, that house, that outfit, whatever it is. I'm just going to apply myself and I'm going to do it. So, the vagus nerve exercise, and then do what I'm doing right now. Smile. I've shared this so many times. I recently posted about it. You wake up in the middle of the night panicked, like 3 a.m., like I do a lot. I'll be honest with you. I put a little grin on my face. That sets up a whole cascade of feel-good chemicals, feel-good neurotransmitters, norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, painkillers. They're like mood stabilizers. They're what's found in antidepressants. Okay, so just another extra there. Do the vagus nerve exercise. Put a little smile. It could even be a grin. It could be, look, literally, it could be that much. And then you're going to change your mood instantly. Now, after having done that, so that's focus. That's the first part. Another part of focus is, so there's three parts: focus, food, fitness. So focus is address your anxiety. Now, create the compelling vision. I did this 30 something years ago. I was 60 pounds overweight. I quit my football scholarship. I was depressed. I was miserable. I was hopeless. I hated how I looked and felt. I hated looking at the mirror at myself. I said, that's not me. I just hated myself. And I know it's not right, but it's, I was 18. I didn't know any better. I was just angry at the world and things that happened in my childhood, and my father when I was 16. It's a long story, and I go into it in other areas. I don't have to go into it here. So I created a compelling vision. I saw myself walking in the mall in blue jeans and a white t-shirt, and my arms, my biceps looked good. Hey, I was 18. It was a compelling vision. I've been creating compelling visions ever since then. And it's how I started my business. It's how I got married. It's how I had my children. It's how I serve my children. It's how I taught myself to cook so I could literally serve my children. It's how I wrote my books. It's how I started my business. I'm a physical therapist, a nutritionist, a speaker. I'm not telling you this to impress you. I'm just saying you and I have special things to accomplish. And we can tap into the best part of our brain by dealing with our anxiety, addressing it, and then creating a compelling vision that's so exciting, so compelling. It absolutely must happen. That's how powerful it is. Like me being here with you right now, doing this podcast. Tonight, I'm going to be speaking to a group of incredible people. And tomorrow I'm going to be going to work as a physical therapist serving people. Like I look at that as best as possible as this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is my purpose. It's my compelling vision, right? You know what I'm talking about. So get laser focused right now. Just think about in your mind, you might be driving, you might be sitting, you might be wherever you are. Just take a second to put into your mind a vision, a future, what you want. And I do this in my with my audiences. I play music. I have everyone stand up. I play this really amazing, inspiring music. Have everyone stand up and just direct them and say just what I'm saying now is right now for the next couple seconds. Direct your mind. It's that powerful. Take yourself to the beach, to the vacation, to the new job, to the house, to the relationship. Just being present, taking a walk in nature, your special place, whatever it is, writing that book, painting, writing poetry, whatever it is, take yourself to that place and make it descriptive. What are you doing? Where are you? What are you wearing? What are the colors you're seeing? What are the scents you're smelling? Who are you with? Why does this make you happy? Why must this happen? All of those descriptors, strategies make the vision more real. And you know this, the mind can't discern between reality and perceived reality. You know that, right? If you've ever had a nightmare, you're being chased by someone, about to be whatever, you're driving a car and you go off a bridge, you wake up in a panic, your literally heart is beating, you're sweating. I've had clients fall out of bed. They jump out of bed because they're being chased or they're fighting something or they're doing something. Nothing happened. No one's chasing you. Your car's not going off the cliff. No one's chasing you with a knife. That's how powerful the mind is. So to me, it just makes sense. I want to harness that power. My God, if I can convince myself that I'm being chased by someone and my heart rate elevates, my pupils dilate, my body releases adrenaline, then I want to do that under control. I want to have that power to focus on my future and then tie in what I love, my kids, my purpose, having fun, cooking amazing food. Those are my personal things. Speaking to an audience, being here with you. I want to tie in why this is important, why I must do this. All right. So that's the compelling vision after you deal with your anxiety and your stress with the vagus nerve exercise, smiling, and any other stress strategy you have. I just got off a call with a client and he said he connects to God. He talks to God. When he wakes up in the middle of the night, he has a conversation with God. God, I love you. I love my relationship with you. Help me fall back to sleep. He does a prayer and he falls back to sleep. Hey, that's amazing. Whatever works, whatever calms you down, use that strategy. So you got your compelling vision. That's focus. Number two is food. Why food? Because, and I've said this before, food has an incredible ability, incredible power to benefit you or to harm you. If you're eating whole foods and whole animal protein, grass-fed beef, wild fish, organic chicken and pork, the best meat you could possibly get, the best animal protein you could possibly get, vegetables, the best vegetables you can get, seasonal, local, organic, pesticide-free, sustainable, fruit that's in season, incredibly nutritious, delicious. That's how you get children to eat vegetables and fruit. Feed them foods that are in season, they're organic, they're fresh, they're natural, they're local. They taste so much better. They taste of what they are, right? So that's how food can benefit us. And it literally fuels the vision. Think about that. I made that connection 20 something years ago. Oh, every time I eat, potentially, well, 80% of the time, I have an 80-20 rule, right? 20% you can go crazy, cheeseburgers, beer, whatever you want. 80% of the time, nail it with those foods I just mentioned. So 20 something years ago, I made the connection. If I eat this, organic chicken, if I eat this organic broccoli rabe, if I eat this, whatever it is, fermented food, sauerkraut, pickles, kimchi, it's literally going to fuel my body, and my brain takes up 40% of that nutrition, right? 40% of the sugar that I consume, the good sugar is going to go fuel my brain. So I made that connection. I have the vision, and now I'm going to fuel it. So when I eat, 80% of the time, I can think about that vision. Guess what? That's going to motivate me to eat healthier. Having said that, I can choose food like potato chips that are made with canola oil, palm oil, or soybean oil, I should say, sunflower oil, seed oils. Maybe they have some preservative thrown in. Maybe they're not organic, so they're genetically modified. Maybe they have some other stabilizers, colorings, preservatives, any artificial sweeteners, artificial colorings, flavorings. I said all that stuff, right? All of those things I just mentioned have the ability, unfortunately, to create anxiety, which is going to affect my gut, which is going to affect my mind, which is going to affect my vision. You see how it's related? So I got this vision. I'm totally pumped. I know if I eat healthy and exercise, I'm going to look and feel amazing when that vision comes true. Now I'm shut down. What? Oh my God, I lost my motivation. I don't know what just happened. It must be life. It must be too hard. It must take too long. I can't afford it. Those are all the excuses. But you might have just eaten a food that has a toxic ingredient, like I just mentioned, that literally knocks your brain offline. It's that powerful, but also that encouraging. That's why I encourage my clients, keep a food diary when they work with me. Keep a food diary, a food journal, whatever you want to call it. Show it to me. Let me show you what's in your food. I had a client the other day show me her oatmeal. She goes, Peter, I eat healthy. I can't lose weight. She showed me her oatmeal. Had 17 ingredients. Oatmeal should have how many ingredients? One. And it should be steel cut rolled oats. So oats, but steel cut is the healthiest because the sugar is going to absorb slowly. If you're eating too much sugar, creates inflammation in the body, shuts down the thinking part of the brain, throws you in anxiety, you lose your motivation, you can't see your vision, you can't see the future, you can't get yourself to get to the gym, you can't get yourself to start that painting or start that business application or that move process, whatever it is that you want. See how it's all related? So look at some of my other social media, look at my blog posts. I go through an extensive list of the foods. This is why I always say to people, if you just chose organic, look, it's not perfect, but if you choose organic by law, depending on where you live, it cannot contain genetically modified organisms. It can't be fed genetically modified organisms. So if you're eating, beef or pork, whatever it is, can't be fed that. Can't be given hormones or antibiotics, no herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, no preservatives, artificial colors, artificial flavorings. Now we're starting to ban these artificial dyes that are in food that we knew are toxic for years, but the government said they're generally recognized as safe. We don't have to go into why that is. We just know better now. If you're eating a food, or I hope you know, and now you know, if you're eating a food with an unrecognizable ingredient that was created in the lab, has the potential to throw your brain offline. And now you've lost your motivation. I'm so passionate about this because I know you have great things in mind. You want to accomplish great things. You want to do these things for yourself and for the people that you love. When I speak to my audiences, corporate America, teachers, I know, especially teachers, they got into a profession to serve children. They didn't do it because they wanted to become millionaires. They did it. Maybe they were called to serve children. And now they can't be their best in the classroom. They can't be present. They might feel guilty. Then they go home and they don't have anything for their kids. And it could have just been what they had for that snack, that power bar, that 5-hour energy, whatever it is, could have knocked their mind offline. And now they're feeling bad. They're feeling terrible. They can't get motivated. It's not them. It's what they just ate. It might be what they're just thinking. They're not dealing with their anxiety or their stress. Okay? So focus, food, and the last one is fitness. Don't bypass exercise. And I'm not telling you what to do, but I wouldn't just exercise, like getting on the treadmill and killing yourself, to lose the weight of the food that you just ate that you know you didn't want to eat, but somehow you ate. By the way, mindless eating could be caused by anxiety, and then you overeat, and then you also are eating foods that aren't good for you, that also knocks you out of your motivation. You can't be motivated when you're not eating well and you don't feel well. Okay, so keep that in mind. So, exercise. This one I love because I don't love to exercise. I'll be honest with you. I've been doing it for 30 years, but I can't say that I love to exercise. I love the results of exercise. Literally shaping my body, my children, my 17-year-old son and my daughters are 21 and 24. They're like me at their age. They're realizing, "Oh my God, Dad, if if I exercise my body, it will change. I could shape, I could tone, I could lose." I'm saying it so excitedly. I have goosebumps because they've tapped into exercise. One of the benefits, you could literally change how your body looks and also how your body feels by exercising and building muscle specifically. I'm not bad mouthing cardiovascular, but if you want the full benefit of exercise, make sure you're building muscle. Do resistance exercise. I always say in the circuit, send me an email or look at my social media. I release my 20-minute program for free. It's out there on all my social media. Just scroll around and find it. Or go to my website. I've been doing this 20-minute workout for 27 years since I got my Master's of Science in Physical Therapy. When I learned if I do a circuit, if I build muscle and do it in a circuit, I get a cardiovascular benefit and a resistance or muscle building benefit. You want muscle. Every year that you're not exercising, you can lose 1 to 3% of your muscle mass, depending on different studies. Now, that's not good. You know, muscle makes us safe, it makes us stronger, it keeps us active, doing things we love, even in intimacy, in the bedroom. The more fit you are, the more the experience is going to be incredible. Whether you want to run races too, or marathons, or Spartans, or just look good in your clothes, so many benefits. Also, I always remind my clients, my audience, and my kids, when you're exercising, your body's releasing incredible cascade of feel-good neurotransmitters, chemicals, endorphins, which are painkillers, neurotransmitters, again, norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin. Serotonin's the happy drug. It's what you get when you eat a really good piece of chocolate or when you have incredible sex with someone that you love. Your body's releasing serotonin. You get it every time you exercise. If you direct your mind towards that vision, what you want, and put a little smirk or a little smile on your face, that'll even compound how much of those chemicals your body is releasing. And then recently I was speaking at a resort and I was talking about this because I always talk about exercise in my presentations. And an oncologist in the audience said, "Peter, you're also releasing cytotoxic T cells, otherwise known as T killer cells. Macrophages, they literally are Pac-Men that eat cancer cells in your body." That's nuts. Think about that for a second, right? How cool is that? You're exercising, you're with someone you love, you're taking a walk, you're directing your mind, you're thinking about your vision, and your body is releasing all those feel-good chemicals, including cancer-fighting chemicals. That is how powerful the body is. It's just a matter of putting it all together. So if you want to motivate anyone, including yourself, focus. And in focus is manage your anxiety, control your anxiety, create that compelling vision. Food. Look at the food you're eating. Eat more of those foods I mentioned. Do your own research. Reach out to me. Avoid as much as possible those other foods because they're going to knock your brain offline. They're going to kill your motivation. They're going to kill the motivation of the people that you're trying to motivate. And fitness. Don't underestimate the power of exercise. It's not just physical, it's also mental because your brain is releasing all these incredible feel-good chemicals. Also, testosterone and human growth hormone. I didn't even mention those, and so many others, right? I hope that helps you like it helps me. If there's an opportunity for me to present some of this material to your company or your school, ask me. You have nothing to lose. Just start a conversation. Introduce me to your superintendent, your principal, your CEO, your CFO, your manager. You might be managing these people. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, or if you want me to work with your family, your children, someone that you love and care about, reach out to me. Until next time, I'm Peter.